Have you ever experienced something like this? When I first arrived in another country, the moment I got off the plane and stood at the airport, everything around me is a strange language. People are passing by quickly. I feel like I'm stopped alone in between. I don't know where to go. The moment I feel awkward, even if I'm allowed to stay here. Especially when it arrives at night, the feeling becomes stronger. As soon as you go out of the airport, I suddenly think of this. I'm completely alone right now. It's for people who like to travel, even people who are used to unfamiliar environments. It's a hard feeling to avoid. By the way, there is one thing that foreigners who come to Korea have in common. Strangely, it wasn't scary. Isn't this a little weird? It's usually the opposite. The more unfamiliar a country is, the more wary it is. The more you don't know, the more distant you are. But in Korea, I feel comfortable, even though it's my first time. He says he feels like he's not alone, even though he's alone. And I explain the reason like this. It was because of the people. This is the beginning of today's story. It's not because of fancy tourist attractions in Korea. It's a memorable country because of people. So today, foreigners actually experience it in Korea. I'm going to talk about the moments when I was really touched. It's not just a good story. Why do you feel that way? Let's solve what's different from other countries. And I can say this for sure. If you watch this video until the end, the view of Korea will be slightly different. There is an experience that foreigners talk about the most. It's when you get lost. For those who are new to Korea, the subway line also feels difficult. There are a lot of stations with similar names and the transfers are complicated. So you stand in one place and keep looking at the map. Then, someone approaches first. Where are you going? This is the beginning. And then there's an amazing thing. I'm not just telling you the direction, they often take you to the place in person. From a foreigner's point of view, this is a very unfamiliar experience. In many countries, talking to someone you don't know, it can also be burdensome or vigilant. That's why foreigners say this. In Korea, people didn't just walk past me. It's not just kindness. For someone, it's a sign that it's okay to be here. The second most talked about experience is it's a lost item. Wallet, cell phone, bag. The moment I lose this, in most countries you almost give up, especially if you have cash or cards in it. I think it's less likely to come back, but it's different in Korea. The part that surprised foreigners the most is, the point is that the lost item comes back almost the same. There are many cases where cash is still there. Cards and ID cards are often returned without damage. What foreigners say after this experience is similar. There is trust in this country. It's not just luck, it's a result of the atmosphere of the whole society. When you pick up someone's stuff, a culture that thinks it's natural to give back, it's obvious to foreigners. It feels very special. The third is a little deeper story. It's the most difficult for foreigners to understand in Korea. It's the part that moves me the most. It's a feeling of affection. This doesn't translate very well. It's not enough to simply explain it with kindness or favor. For example, this is the situation. At the restaurant I went to for the first time, the owner gives me more food for no reason. I'm trying to pay, but they say, "Come again next time." Or, the first person you met, he buys me a meal and keeps taking care of me. In this situation, foreigners can't believe it. I don't understand it at first. Why are you doing this to me? But we find out over time. This is not a calculation, that it's an action that comes out of a relationship. That's why I say this. In Korea, there is a feeling that people take care of people. The last is the heart of emotions. The biggest change that foreigners feel in Korea. I feel like I'm not alone. At first, I feel strange and lonely. Language doesn't work, I don't have any friends, everything is uncertain. But at some point, small experiences start to build up. The person who showed me the way, the person who helped, the one who laughed. As these moments are repeated, I'm starting to think about this. I can live here too. It's not just a travel memory, it's an experience that changes a person's emotions. We often say this, there is nothing special about Korea. But to someone, my experience in this country, it becomes the warmest memory of my life. Things we took for granted. Small kindness, petty consideration, unprovoked help. All of those things, for someone, it becomes an unforgettable moment for the rest of their lives. So the whole point of today's story is one. Korea is not a country that is remembered for its glamour. It's a country that's remembered because of people. And if there's a chance to help someone on the road, it's not just an act. It could be a life-changing moment for someone. And this story doesn't end here. The reason why many foreigners like Korea is because it's not just people. There is another strong reason. At first, it starts with simple music. At some point, you end up saying this. This changed my life. It's K-pop. But the important thing is, I'm not just saying that the song is good. Why some people learn Korean because of K-pop? Why did some people come to Korea? Why some people even change the direction of their lives? In the next video, let me explain the reason one by one. It's not just a fan story, with stories of people whose lives have actually changed. I'll continue on in the next video.